Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Tonight we are going to do a really fun read on why people fall for you. We're going to have a 5 pick a card spread, and I'm just finishing shuffling, so I'm just going to start as each one as we do them and put the pile on that, because if we have so many piles going at once, it gets messy and they slide into one another. So just pick the image and the verse that sounds attractive to you, and that will be your pile. Number 1 is going to be fire. Number 2 is going to be the staff. Number 3 is going to be the child. Number 4 is going to be the tree of life. Number 5 is going to be soul retrieval. So whatever image speaks to you or phrase speaks to you, you can choose that. And while you're choosing, I just want to offer my sincere and hearty thank you for all you guys participating in the dialogue the other night with the fantasy read and all the artwork, and supporting and letting everybody know what art you liked and why. And it was just wonderful. It's heartwarming, because sometimes when people undergo a labor of love in a project that they know is going to be many hours and great expense, and while we're trying to raise money for it, and I'm trying to write the book and everything, it's really nice to know that viewers are behind us and they're supporting us, and they find it worthwhile. I think that's one of the biggest struggle of artists out there, like whether they're writing songs, music, books, creating tarot cards, any of those things, is that time equals expense equals interest, things like that. And you guys have been so beautiful, and you're just raised Elaine's vibration so much, because when I went over her house to film the other day too and do the interview with her, she was running around full of purpose and so happy. We both burst out crying. It was so funny. We had to cut that off the camera. It was so emotional. I was saying to you guys how much I love you for your support. Then the second I tried to say, and I love Elaine, I just burst out crying, and he was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "No, I got to hold my shit together." So we're going to begin this. Okay, so I hope you picked your thing. Number 1, fire. 2, staff. 3, the child. 4, the tree of life. And 5, soul retrieval. We're going to begin with number 1, which is fire. Now, why people fall for you. This is people in general. I'm talking men and women. People, maybe why they hire you, why they want to be around you, why they find you appealing, why they may find you a potential partner, any of those things. So I know you guys really, really like these cards too. You've mentioned before. So I'm going to put the Nicoletta Coccoli, these are called. If you guys are curious, because I know there was a lot of interest in these, they're called Nicoletta Coccoli Tarot. Totally beautiful. The artwork is super unique. Love it. Love it. It's very Alice in Wonderland / Edward Scissorhands / just every cool thing ever. You know what I mean? Bubblegummy. They're really neat. So this is going to be number 1. Why they fall for you. And then also, after I read this, you're going to get another fairy oracle card, because I am obsessed with Brian Froud's fairy cards. Let's see. Ace of Cups. Why they fall for you. Jeez. Just give me 1 second. Oh my God. Death. 5 of Cups. The red right hand. And the 2 of Wands. I love the 2 of Wands. Let me see here. All right, so number 1, why people fall for you. Aren't these great for Halloween? I love the other ones. Are ghost cards in the middle. These are called Ghost Tarot, if you're curious. And they're beautiful as well. Okay, let me see. Wow, very interesting. Okay. Let me see. All right, with the Ace of Cups. Yeah, and the Ace of Cups is a gift from the universe. You're endowed with unbelievable luck at times, and right now especially, and it's drawing love, and it's drawing people toward you. They find you highly appealing at this rate. I also feel that you're just very naturally beautiful. You don't need makeup, or if you're a man, you don't need extreme grooming. You have a natural beauty to you, a nice bone structure. I see a lot of Latin Americans, a lot of African Americans with beautiful bone structures that are very attractive. And of course, that's our first thing we notice, right? Someone's eyes and face when we first meet them. It's sort of, the eyes being window to the soul. I feel like you have very beautiful eyes, and they're very expressive, and people are drawn towards that. Definitely. let me see what else. I guess when it's for a collective like this, there's a lot of information that comes in as well. So now that we're going to skip over to the end too, in the Two of Wands. This is another thing. People find you very decisive, and they like that. People sometimes it take a very long time to make decisions, and they waffle back and forth, and they get a little crazy about things, right? It gets distracting. Like if you're going out to dinner and somebody takes an effusive amount of time to figure out what they want to eat, right? It can be so annoying. Or getting dressed. What can I wear? What can I do? It drives people crazy. So I feel the fact that you're quick to make a decision, and also you're very good at delegating at work too. I feel like I'm hearing you make smart choices in life too. You look over things with a wise eye, and you have a discerning eye for things, what would work and why they wouldn't. So you don't waste a lot of time having to backtrack or waffle around. This right here, I feel like with the Five of Cups, but I'm hearing a message as well, like emotional, who you give your emotions out to and who you share with. Again, that you don't get emotionally swallowed up in things. You're very logical, and you realize, okay, if somebody is not above board, you know right away, you can sniff that out. You have that instinct that tells you if there's a fracture in somebody's personality. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that put on personas, and they want to seem a certain way. But because you have the Hermit here too, you're very reflective, and you take time away, and you learn that all is not always what it seems. People can pretend they're anywhere. So they're anywhere. They can just go off in a Deep Space Nine. No, people can pretend they're anyone, and a lot of people that are sociopathic or any of those things where they just want to be accepted to get ahead, you can see right through that. And people find that very attractive, and they fall for you because they like the idea of what a solid person you are when it comes to fact finding and knowing who's who, because this says authenticity like nothing. Ace of Cups with the Hermit, and then the Two of Wands. You are action-packed when you want to be. You go for it. You don't have to put anybody else down to elevate yourself, which is very important. You know what I mean? Some people, I don't know if you saw the reading the other day when it talked about the soul shrinker. When we talk about others, it actually shrinks us. It dims our light. It darkens our aura. It diminishes the speaker. And I feel like you guys are learning to drop that. If you even start to say anything about other people, you immediately understand that that's unworthy. So you stop right away, which is lovely. I really, really like that. Also, other reasons people fall for you is you're very pulled together. I feel a very pulled together essence here. When you are getting ready, you just tie it all together. You know what I mean? You're a bit of a fashionista, but you don't go crazy. You have a good sense of fashion. And it's funny, I was reading this thing on what attracts men, and they really do like somebody who makes a little effort in terms of that. Not all the time. And nobody's going to be dressed to the nines all the time. Just simply that you match your colors, if your clothes fit you. And I feel like some of you are quite a shoe person, and we wouldn't really like to think this, but men really do pay attention to footwear. There's something that has to do with the feet. So we're also going to pull you a fairy oracle card, the Singer of Transfiguration. Let's see what that's about. Don't you love all these Halloween-y type of feels? I feel like it's so multi-layered, and everything is really like colorful and dreamy. Let's see. So let's see, you are the Singer of Transfiguration. It's about transformation, transcendence, and metamorphosis. The Singer of Transfiguration tells us that we have been through the gate, we have passed through the initiation process, and we have reached a new way of being, reflection and deep transformation within ourselves. As with other singers, the power and joy of this one radiates especially strongly in the things and beings symbolized by the cards around it. Like the reborn, renewed phoenix, the singer is a flame with vibrant, expanded life. Isn't that so beautiful? Vibrant, expanded life. That's beautiful. There really isn't much to say about this. Not even the fairies seem to have anything to add. They're just sitting around here smiling, blissfully and humming the ethereal and beautiful melody. And a cat in my lap, Sylvie, is purring so loudly it sounds like she is singing. And so are we all. Oh, that's beautiful. That's Brian Froud. I think that's his cat, Sylvie, and him and his wife and are the artisans of all the fairy cards. So yeah, again, people find you very content, laid back, pulled together, discerning together, honest, and also reflective. That's important. If you have people that just continually talk without thinking, you know, the people that have to speak the most, offer their opinions like it's so cherished, and it's usually just recycled, you know, rhetoric. It gets exhausting, right? Some people just can never stop talking either about themselves or what they think others want to hear. And you are a person of substance. When you speak, it makes sense. It helps. Again, you think before you speak, you know, is it helpful? Is it intelligent? Is it going to enhance the situation? Is it kind? Etc., etc. And also you have gifts coming your way from the universe. So get prepared to receive them, because Jupiter is coming into Sagittarius in November, and that is the house of gifts and beautiful surprises. So that's you guys. Don't forget, if you're leaving, press subscribe, press like, do it right now, and then the bell will come and let you know about your notifications. All my links are below. If you need any assistance in finding the private reads, there's a list of everything there. I'm also on Instantgo, the link to our Patreon page. Anything you want to know is down below there. Thank you very much. And now we're going to go on to number 2, which is the staff. I really like to do it this style, because then stuff doesn't get out of hand. And everybody had been asking when I used these, if you're just cashing in, you skip the beginning. These are the Nicolette Kokoli cards, the ones with the green that look like dolls. Look at that. So beautiful. I mean, the colors, they're perfect for Halloween. I adore them. Okay, again, why people fall for you. 7 of Cups. Oh, no. Beautiful. The sun. Sorry, that fell between my thing over here. I was like, what is going on? Illumination, understanding, and strength. Very good. 3 of Wands. Wow. 4 of Cups. I love 4 of Cups. It's the happy, happy, happy card where everybody's just content. It's balanced. This is beautiful. Okay. Look at the fairies. Like, I want to come hang out. I just loved this so much that I wanted it out there. I think it's so beautiful. Look at that. Adore that. That artwork. Oh, love them. Yeah, Brian Froud did all the stuff for Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. Amazing, right? Okay, number 2. Why people fall for you. Okay, so it looks like with the 7 of Cups, the Sun, 3 of Swords, wow, and 4 of Cups. Okay, this is pretty easy. In 4 of Cups, you're a very balanced personality, a very balanced person. You don't have huge emotional fluxes. You're very content and relaxed with who you are. So you're super authentic. I mean, you're just chill as they come. With you, what you see is what you get. You're not trying to put on a facade. You're not trying to put on an image that is not you. You're basically the Nicki Minaj type that's like, look, I have talents. I know what I'm about. I'm perfectly fine and legit to skip a river with you and hang out, but if you cross me, you're gonna look ridiculous, because I feel like you can slay in any kind of verbal chess that it would just be game over. That's another thing I hear from you with the 3 of Swords too, that you have a very cutting and sharp intellect, and usually you'll see the 3 of Swords in some of the other decks. It's a pierced heart or whatever, and I feel like you've had past experiences with people being a little loose and free with your heart, and you've learned from those lessons, hence you have that sharp tongue that's like, yeah, you can try to mess, but it's not going to go very far. And the Sun is absolutely beautiful. Another reason people like you is you do bring illumination when you come in the room. You have a harmony and a fairness and a kindness to you. You also are you're like a force of nature you don't even realize you are. There's a lot of energy and fire that comes with you when you travel, and you have this vibration of warmth and serenity and safety, and people like to be in your orbit, which is really nice. And with the 7 of Cups, I feel like you help people make decisions. I feel like people come to you. The 7 of Cups can be, there's so much swirling around and so much choice, and a lot of people spoil themselves for choice, and they get all off their human normal track because they're so uncertain of what avenue they can go down to, and you're excellent to come to advice for, and it really makes people fall for you because you listen to what they're saying, hence you're able to help them. You know what I mean? There isn't a huge amount, there's not a super surplus of people that are good listeners, especially if they're younger and they're not in their 40s plus. Their attentions are drawn everywhere. There's so much social media. Everybody is, it's a cacophony of just buy this, go here, seem like this, do this, of ungroundedness. But because your feet are firmly on the ground due to the Four of Cups too, and you're just choice, you're sitting, you're chill, you got all that, and because you're such a self-contained unit that is super, super attractive to people, and because of that you're able to reach out in terms of the Seven of Cups and help people make decisions and choices without batting an eyelash. You can just get it done. Let's see who your fairy card is. The Pook. Oh, that's funny because that was earlier today too, and I thought it was so charming. Like I love the look on the faces of some of these fairies is so funny. Let's see what the Pook is up to. I think he's right here. I hope we get Gloominous Doom one day. I'm just going to read it if it doesn't come up because it's such a hilarious and Gloominous Doom. Okay, the Pook also wishes to show us the bad in what we think is the good and vice versa. He's very against rigid mindsets and in his own way encourage us to develop inquiry minds. Yeah, absolutely. His true face, nobody is certain that a shape changer has ever had a true face long enough for anybody to recognize it. With them, he offers us contradictions and paradoxes and finds it all too easy to confuse judgment because we are also not thinking very clearly anyway. Our paradoxes and confusions are self-created, and the Pook needs only to dress them up a bit, add a little sparkle, and dangle them before us in order to induce confusion. In that confusion, we're likely to believe almost anything anybody presents to us, just to feel as we had a metaphorical anchor in reality. His challenge is for us to wake up and stop projecting our confusions on reality. I love that. Once we have seen the truth, seeming contradictions and paradoxes melt away in the manner of realizing the solution to a Zen koan-like, what is the sound of one hand clapping? When we get the answer, it's usually by a burst of insight cutting through the confusion and paradoxes. It always seems so simple, and we wonder how we could have been in such a tizzy about such a simple thing. You know, that's it. When we try to overthink things, which is also funny enough, it's this card. When we try to overthink, second guess, wonder what ifs about every other avenue of choice that we could go down, that's telling the world that we're not content with what we have and we want more, 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 more. And when we seem greedy or we feel like we have a lack mentality, we're not going to get more. In fact, we're going to get less because that's, again, the proverbial cookie that your mom cooks for you and you throw it on the floor because it's not the kind you want. You think she's going to make you anything else? No. The universe isn't going to cook anything up for you either if you throw everything that they give you out the window because you want a bigger, better deal. So we are grateful with what we have. And we're not trying to second guess everything, and we're being super chill. We're being helpful to our friends making choices. We are basking in the warmth of the sun, and you have very heavy appeal to people because of that self-balance and that that groundedness. You're very grounded and solid, and people know that you're reliable. You're also a person that sticks to your word, and that's very, very important. You know, in a world where everybody says yes, 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 well, and they promise a lot and deliver little, it's not a great thing. I mean, your motto should always be promise little and deliver big, right? Especially for our friends. So that's you guys. That's amazing. Again, you're very appealing to a lot of people and high profile, high value people because you're a high value person who's very dependable yourself and also feel like you're a little silly and have a cute personality. And you like to laugh as well. You're laid back and comfortable in your own skin. That's lovely. So that's number 2 for the staff. So if you guys have to pop out, don't forget to like and press subscribe. Press it. And press the bell so you get your reminders. All my links are below for private reads. I'm also on Instantgo. If you have a quick one question and you want it answered within an hour or two, all our other links are down there as well. So thank you guys, and we will go on to number 3, which is going to be the Child. These cards are so beautiful, aren't they? They're very sort of Alice in Wonderland / Edward Scissorhands. There's a whole cool artistry to them, which I absolutely love. So now we're going to go on to the Child and see what's going on there. 1, 2, where's my other deck? 3, 4. All right. And then we'll have your fairy card at the end. Okay, again, why people are attracted to you. Do, 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 do. Ooh, 3 of Wands. A lot of wands. Everybody's getting wands. The 4 of Wands. The 2 of Cups. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that picture is very clear in my head. Look at this, and the Knight of Wands. So very action. I feel a lot of you are very take action. Wow, the Ace of Cups. Amazing. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so the universe is offering your present. You're very lucky. You're very fortunate. You're usually in the right place at the right time. And people like that energy about you, and they like to be near you. Also, with the Knight of Wands, you come in with a happy hello. You come in with a spark and a joie de vivre and a lovingness and a light step, and you're silly and loving, and you have energy, and you're proud of your work, and you do it well. People really respect that, and they fall for you because of that. Also, with the 3 of Wands in there too, it's like you are a person of your word. If you say you're going to do something, you absolutely do it. And you don't do it begrudgingly. You do it like with a kind heart, and you have a lot of gratitude. I see with all these cards all blended together, I'm seeing right now you're due a big karmic Hershey's kiss there at the end with the Ace of Cups, because you often think of other people, and that's super, super attractive to people that are around you. You know what I mean? That makes you a very attractive prospect to them, and they fall for you because of that. Because if you have something and you see someone doesn't have some as well, you'll share that food with them. You'd share that money with them. You'd share your resources with them because you have a kind heart. Hence the 2 of Cups in the middle, that people want to offer you that emotional cup filled with love. Because there's also a quiet sensuality about you. You're not extra. You don't feel like you have to shout stuff from the rooftops, and you're not look at me, look at me. You're a quiet kind of elegant beauty that people are attracted to. You know, more like Audrey Hepburn type of thing. Katharine Hepburn, very smart, a good head on your shoulders. You don't need to use overt sexiness or anything like that. And you can fit in a lot of groups too, socioeconomic, cultural. You just fit in there, you blend, because you're a natural sort of class act. You don't need to put on any airs. You're just naturally very elegant and fun and results oriented, and people are very attracted to you for that, and they see you as spouse material. In fact, I feel like a few of you are going to have some offers soon in that regard, so I'm very excited for you. Let's see what your fairy card is. Garwitch Ball. I stared at that for like 5 minutes because I couldn't tell if that was a card we had earlier. Here's the funny thing. With the print on the card, I can't really read it all that well until I get to the book, because a lot of it is, I believe, Gaelic by the spellings, like Old Gaelic. And it takes me a minute because there's a lot of vowels. And I actually live on a road called Llewellyn with double L's in it. And it's very funny because for whatever reason in that script, it takes me a moment. So yeah, you guys get very excited. I feel like offers are going to come towards you. Proposals. I feel like that around Thanksgiving and Christmas time. And then I also feel like at some of the gatherings, office parties and gatherings at your house, that you're going to meet people there, significant others that are going to play a role in your life. Oh, I think I just read this myself. Oh no, it is gotcha. Is that 64? This does, just give me a moment because this doesn't. Oh yeah, it looks like Gotchwow. This was one today, gotcha. See, so the same messages are trying to come through. I absolutely adore these fairy cards. I just shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. And earlier today, this one came up and so did the other one. So these are messages that are struggling to come through to you guys, because Gotcha is the out of the blue fairy. He likes to surprise us. You know, you're walking along minding your own business, not minding any business at all, and the universe smacks you on the blind side with something that makes a splat. Unexpected demands from the tax man. The bank's hole in the wall machine eats your bank card late at night. A burly, irritable taxi driver is waiting. Your children find a way to dye themselves green just before your in-laws arrive. A meteor hits your car. all those things. This is like the school of thought that says this is just karma. We deserve it for our sins. We totally forgotten our other lifetimes. Not so. Karma is about lessons we need to learn, not about punishment. And meaningless events don't teach us much. So this may be karma, but it isn't that kind of karma. There's another school of thought that says all these things are our choices. This is very important, our choices. We choose to be there when this was happening. We choose to step in front of that invisible cosmic bus. There's some truth in this. On one level of being in high super consciousness, I know more than I see. But most of us don't function in that exalted, intuitive level of consciousness much of the time. And I'll even today, when I was down the beach, I'm now experiencing things I've never experienced before, a sense of complete wonder, almost like it's the first time I'm going places, because as I'm becoming more and more aware and getting more and more connected to just sort of like my guides in nature and being where I have to be. Like I went up to this tree and I took a photograph. I leaned against this tree. I immediately felt its energy. I was so grounded and calm, and it was right at the beach. The beach. Okay, so now we're on to number 4, the tree of life. Let's see what that holds for us. Okay, again, and our topic is why people fall for you. Ooh. Let me see. Very nice. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles. You guys have some money coming to you. Whoa. The 9 of Pentacles. Wow. 10 of Swords. Wow, you guys, very cool. Okay, I have some pretty straightforward here. So part of the reason your group in the Tree of Life that you hold a lot of appeal to people is, I feel like some of you, this is one group I hear in my head too. A lot of you have a big chunk of you have a military past. You have done some tours or you were involved in the military. That's very, very appealing to people. There's an element of bravery and wonderfulness about that. You know what I mean? It's just, I can't even get into it because I'll get too emotional over it. It just really is. Everybody has a natural magic to them. You know, it's simple. We're all full of it. The more we are true to our own nature, the more we have access to our own magic. But people that help in a military capacity have a little extra stardust to them. They really do. I mean, they put their lives on the line for us, and it's amazing. And that brings a lot of mystique and beauty to you as well, and people are very attracted to that. Another aspect that I see too is a lot of you, you're very good. You have an understanding of money and the market and things like that, and it's very appealing and cool to people because money is an energy, and a lot of people have fear attached to it, or they have a couple of things, and people that have problems manifesting usually have an attitude about it like, oh, greed, if you like money, you're greedy. If you like this and that, it's bad. People have weird relationships from about it and from it, especially if they grew up where they had a lot of it and people were bored all the time and you didn't really cherish things because everything was so easily bought. You know what I mean? Like that, where it's like, oh, if you have one cool present for Christmas, you're going to cherish the hell out of that present, right? You're going to love it and you're really going to take care of it, and it's a true gift because it's a rarity. When you get piles and piles of it, I've been around really wealthy kids where they just dig through them and on to the next, on to the next. It's like a race. It's a very weird, entitled, gluttonous race towards the next one with very little care or concern for what the gift actually is. But I think because you cherish gifts so closely, especially when people give it to you, if it's made, something homemade, I feel like you cherish that so much, and people really fall for that because it's a beautiful sentimentality. I feel like you guys remember songs and lyrics and little beautiful things like that, and it's a huge turn on to others. They think that is so lovely that you remember the lyrics and they're sentimental and you repeat them and you learn things from that. That's very lovely to people too. I also feel like you're not really bothered about money. You're not stingy. If you have it, you're willing to share and go on sprees with people or buy them dinner, and you don't hark on about it. You're a generous tipper. You're just a nice, generous, open soul. Again, it's like, you know, you understand these are all energy, and you give off a sort of healing energy because of that. You know a few secrets about nature, you know what I mean? You're happy that you're the type too, if music starts and you like it, you'll just dance. You're not self-monitoring. You just like to let loose and have a good time and start dancing and, you know, just be free. It's very, very beautiful. Yeah, and again, you're someone that people take seriously because you don't take yourself seriously. I know that sounds funny, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? You're a person of substance and value, but you don't have to go on and on about how smart or valuable you are. Like, you know, some people that can be very book learned, but they're not very skilled at fitting in socially because they just start reminiscing about facts they know. Yeah, I love people that are socially awkward, and I think it's adorable. But you're not. You're very at ease with who you are, and you're very authentic and genuine, and people really, really are attracted to that. It's really cool. Plus, I feel like you have a really great smile, and it's very warming. People just feel really comfortable around you. So that's wonderful. Let's see what your fairy card is. I'm excited to find out. The Fawn. Look at that. I love when it's just beams of light like that. When I saw those, when I got this book years and years ago, I couldn't wait to paint that because for whatever reason, I can do those types of paintings with big swipes. Like I can do waterfalls, big swathes of color. Can you see what that is? That it's a fawn, it's a deer. There's the nose, the eyes, and the ears. And I love how he's just basically rays of light. I find that so, so beautiful. So in the fawn, this is crazy because I was just reading about, wow. Okay, wait till you hear what I say and see if you just heard this before. I am not kidding you. Because I'd read this book and this must have stayed in my head. This is really weird. The merry, impressible fawn, dancing in the garden, frolicking in the woods, playing in the meadows, sings out, "Come and dance with me. It is he who knows the secrets of nature. He knows where the robin's nestlings are hidden and the mice lurk, who lives down that rabbit burrow, and where the pixies like to dance. He teaches us to understand, appreciate, and express the part of ourselves that dances in the moonlight with the fairies, and sings to the dawn with the stars of the bird, and hums with the blossoming flowers. This is also the part of us that plants seeds with a loving pat and says, 'Bless you and grow.' No fuss, no bother, just intention and natural human magic." This is crazy. I just said this. Natural magic is simple. We are all full of it, and the more we are true to our own nature, the more we have access to our own magic. I just thought I was tripping out and having triple deja vu when I started to read this. I'm like, I think I just said those words. And I read this book all the time, so it must have stayed in my mind, but to pick the card right after, this is truly meant for you, obviously. So natural magic is simple. We are full of it, and the more we are true to our nature, the more access we have to our magic. When we are caught up in believing in limitations imposed by ourselves or our culture, we inhibit the flow of energy, which is the melody of ecstasis' song of the cosmos, and it sweeps through us. Opening ourselves back up to the song can be long and complex business once we have closed it down in some way. It requires self-observation in the form of formal therapy or simple friendship. Oh, spending time in our gardens, in our parks, in our forests, in open spaces helps us to reconnect, but so does growing herbs and flowers. Now this is berserk. I think the reason this is so in my psyche, and I pulled the card that just said the words that I was expressing before, is because today, instead of having the attitude of, oh my gosh, I have to go to the beach with my son after school so we can have lunch here because it's his favorite place, why the hell would I not want to leave an office and go do that and stand in the sun? And there was a beautiful tree there, and I leaned against it. Immediately I was grounded. I felt its energy. I felt at peace. He wrote this big swathe in the sand, "We love you, Eleni." We took photographs and sent it to her. It was beautiful, and it was the perfect weather. The sky was doing amazing things, and I had the fawn experience. I had the oneness, the just peace of mind, groundedness. I did not have a single worry or concern in the world. The only thing I saw was the sand and the sea and my son. And it was beautiful. And you guys are going to start to experience that too. And it is very attractive to people because when you're bonded with nature and you have that connection, there's a beauty, soulfulness to that, and beautiful soulfulness that you guys have as well. Beautiful, beautiful read for you guys. I adore that. That's amazing. Yeah, you guys have a bounty of money coming too. I'm not sure for what source, but I don't even think you have to work for it. It's some kind of gift and blessing that's just coming, and it's quite abundant. So I'm excited for that. So don't forget to like and press subscribe. Press the little bell there as well so you get all the notifications. And if you go below is all my links. If you guys need a private read, it goes to everything. It shows you my Etsy store. It shows you Eleni's art gallery. It shows you everything that you need to know for everything. It goes to the Patreon page, so all the info is there. So that was you guys at the Tree of Life. Beautiful. right? And that all match together, you know, your fawn and your connection to nature that makes you appealing and magical and just lovely. So now we're going to go on to the Soul Retriever. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Everything's so good. Okay, let's get your cards ready. Yeah, I find these fairy cards as soon as I start reading from the book, and it goes immediately into my brain, the phrases, and I remember them, and it's almost like it's like Akashic records or something. It just goes in a filing cabinet, and I pull it out when it seems necessary, and then it's totally berserk when that's the card that gets pulled, and you read what you just said. It is the trippiest thing, but I'm not even surprised. The closer we get to Halloween, I swear you guys, if you want to start booking your Halloween reading, I do it now, because on that night there's going to be some tremendous insights, and I'm very excited. Like, I was going to go to Mohegan Sun with my friend Jean, but I don't even know what's going down with me. I might even be on planet Earth. I might just be gone. Who knows? Okay, let's see what's going on for you Soul Retrieval people. Woo! So again, why people fall for you. I'll tell you something funny too. I was Four of Wands, beautiful. I was talking away, and I look up at the camera and it's not going anymore. And I'm like, what the hell? Ooh, Knight of Pentacles. I'm like, what's up with that? And Ian's like, I don't know, it just shut off. And then I started to get mad, and then I was like, you know what? Who cares? Just find a place and begin again. It's not the end of the world. But I feel like sometimes when I'm channeling and the messages come, I don't know if I can reinterpret them the same way. And I get upset because, ooh, Ten of Swords. It's funny, I remember getting Ten of Swords in one thing, and I'm like, how is it coming back when I have the other pile over there? But it was in that deck, and now it's in this deck. It's so funny. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the Four of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful card. That is the happiness card, the action card. It's completely balanced, the 2 and 2. You're finding your way, you're finding your ground, you're sowing your oats. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. Fantastic. And the King of Cups. Beautiful. And Ten of Swords. Okay, so you guys are you're on a really wily, nutso, neat journey up in here. You guys, you've experienced some heartache. I feel like you guys have been through the ringer at work. I feel like a great deal of you people are sick to death of the place you work, and you're not being valued, and you're not getting the credit you're due, and it's very aggravating to you. And I feel like a lot of people are falling for you, and they're attracted to you because you have an immense power to put up with a ton of bullshit and still carry on. You know what I mean? Where other people would have had nervous breakdowns or utter meltdowns and just gone on screaming rages, that you just tuck your head down and you just kind of keep about business. You know what I mean? You keep order and harmony in your head, and it's very seductive to people. And you also, I see a lot of you having a lot of empathy, and when you have that, it's lovely, because a lot of times your empathy is like gentle and wordless. You don't even have to say anything. Your mere presence and your smile is just like a warm hug to people. And it's very enthralling to people, because some people just are so entangled in their own emotional web and what they're doing and what they want out of life. And they disconnect because they go into selfish me mode, and then they're not in the us collective and all of us and what's better for all of us, where you are, and your connectivity to others is very, very attractive to other people because you do care. And that's why you do get the King of Cups, and you get this beautiful offering of, oh, I'm sorry, this one is the Queen. The Queen and the King look the same. Queen of Cups, same thing. And as the Queen of Cups, you are very emotionally effusive and loving and giving, and people will come to you and tell you their stories and their hopes and their dreams, and you really, really listen. And it actually creates this momentum of complete balance and reciprocity and give and take, and people really think of you highly because of that, because you really do. You are super authentic. You never try to, nor have to pretend to be somebody else. You just are who you are, and you do it unapologetically. And because you're giving, and you're balanced, and you're fair, and you're awesome, people just admire that, and they come to you. And people that you might not think are noticing this do, and they're very attracted to you for this reason. And also, I feel like you have, with this Ten of Swords, you have an echo of sadness, about you. I feel like you've experienced something. I feel like some of you have experienced bankruptcy. I feel like some of you have experienced loss of homes, split and fractured families, and that you still are carrying on and caring for others and listening to their stories through all of this, through bankruptcy, through recent splits, through deaths of family members, through people that have chronic illnesses. I feel like some of you have relatives with dementia and cancer, and you're still being this elegant, lovely Queen of Cups that is offering. And a lot of times we need these lessons in life and these just punches to our absolute heart and souls of loss to realize, wow, other people are going through this, and it gives us compassion. I've lost both of my parents, one to cancer and one to, I just call it a broken heart. My mom just gave up and just decided not to be here anymore. And in fact, I remember when they called me from the hospital and they said, this is the weirdest anomaly because she should have died days ago, but she's still here. And then they were asking me, would it be all right if they could look at her heart? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, because it's an anomaly that it could go through what it went through and not stop, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I can't even take this. And I remember it was 2 o'clock in the morning and we were in freezing, icy cold Maine, and it was just awful. And I feel like that's the thing, some of you guys went through soul-wrenching loss, and you're still being this beautiful, lovely beam of light for other people because you truly care. It's amazing. And I feel like that you're going to be offered this enormous karmic reward. Like very soon in November, what happens is Jupiter comes in, Jupiter, Sagittarius, Jupiter comes into Sagittarius, and in that house, oh my gosh, it's very expansive, it's very loving, it's always filled with gifts, knowledge, and creativity, and you guys are going to just come out and you're going to slay. You're going to absolutely slay at everything you do, whether it is the house of love that you want to enter into, the house of money, success, fame, whatever it is. I feel like it's going to be granted to so many of you because you've learned that lesson. And what happens is once you learn that karmically, you get to move up the ladder with ease and adoration and love for people. And people just see you as the shining beacon when you come in. They're relieved that you're there in any room, in your house, your home, your business, all those things. The hospital, I feel like a few of you work at a hospital, places like that, school, I feel like a lot of you are teachers. I feel it all over, and I just feel like a love energy that surrounds you, which is beautiful. Again, you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to get you your, this group, wow, my God. And this is your fairy card, Lais, the moon's daughter. What are you getting up to? Every time I get one of these, it's like, I read it so often that all the fairies almost intertwine. But this is how I know I have a fairy, because I was having a mental breakdown this morning trying to prepare some jewelry that somebody needed immediately. And this piece had been tossed away like under these bins and bins and bins. And I was like, if I have to search through all these bins with all these fabrics, all these things. And all of a sudden, one had something fall off of it. And I'm serious, I looked in that bin and it was in that bin, and the cat wasn't over there, nothing. So I believe fairies are around and they help me. I believe they also steal my shit for sure, and they wear their rings around and dance all night, and then they return someone when they feel like, because they come and go. Like they will be there, and then they won't be there, and then they will be there. And unless Winter has learned how to have opposable thumbs and try on all my jewelry, I don't know what's up. So let's see what Lais Moon Daughter is doing. Light cast in shadows, spiritual guidance, illumination, and riddles. This is perfect for this group. She is the bringer of light in the darkness, yet moonlight both reveals and conceals. Her bright fairy hoof prints light the path ahead of you, guiding you through the dark. She is also one of the guides at the passages between the other worlds and this one. It is she who in her bright light tends to the gate of revelation, showing us the way by illumination, while her sister, Epona's wild daughter, guides us through the gate of despair. Lais' gate is much more fun, yet in the process of guiding us, Lais may pull a veil cloud across the face of her mother, the moon, and 3 steps later we can fall into a bog. That you shall wake up, she thinks, smiling wisely. She disapproves of sleepwalking, which is something most of us humans do a great deal of the time. You know, that's true. People just go on autopilot. They don't even see or they don't even see anymore. Half the time, do you even taste the food that you eat, or are you just eating so quickly while you're on your phone you don't even remember what it tastes like, and you gulp coffee down? I'm guilty of it too. I have to physically slow myself down. So again, the night contains too much magic and beauty and wisdom to walk through it unseeing. You may find her activities helpful, you may find them frustrating. How you take them is entirely up to you, but they are intended to help you awaken. Bear in mind that she does not trip us, she merely places an obstacle or pitfall in our path, and we, sleepwalking and unaware, step right into it. We don't have to do that. As always, it is our choice. She wants us to open up to the great unknown, to mystical experiences, and to teach us expanded ways to relate to the multiverse and all the worlds and dimensions together. Absolutely. And again, like I said, with Jupiter coming into Sagittarius, that is mass expansiveness. People are going to have revelations and understandings that weren't there prior to this, because they are expanding and they are becoming acceptant. Hence, their manifestation abilities are going to skyrocket, and the laws of attraction are going to begin to work for them, because they realize, as energy beings and light workers and energy and all the sylphs and gnomes and fairies all around, that when we step into the world lighthearted with kindness inside of us and love and empathy and sympathy and patience, we do nothing but elevate. We just elevate right the hell up there, right? Our building blocks are getting us higher and higher to the top of that wheel, where we're helping one another, we're cheering each other on, and we're all getting there beautifully. So that's amazing, you guys. Don't forget to like and press subscribe, ding ding, press it, and get the bell so you'll get your, look at that, so you'll get all your notifications. All my links are below if you guys need a private read, especially with Halloween coming up. So don't forget to book it soon, because it's going to be full. And I also have the lovely Instantgo, where you can have a quick one question and I can answer it within 2 hours. Everything is down there. Elaine's artwork link. Everything's ready, set, go. And I hope you guys have a next couple magical days. I'm going to try to put out at least 2 videos a day, because the energy is fantastic and the messages are very clear. So don't forget to be this magical being you are. This group especially, you've gone through some harrowing experiences, and now it's time for you to shine and go through life with some ease. Love and light.